stops that we will make on our trip. So basically this monument is here to remember all the Canadian men and women who lost their lives fighting for our freedom. So if you look right onto the monument, there's 22 figures up there. Those 22 figures represent the 22 different divisions that the Army had during World War I and World War II. And to make it even more representative of the divisions, they made each of those statues a specific gender. Out of the 22 statues on top of there, how many do you think are men and how many do you think are women?
22-0.
You think 2 are women? That's an excellent guess. You are right. There are 2 women on the statue, and you can find them on there when we'll have a minute to walk around and look around.
They're medics.
And the other 20 are men. Now, if you walk to the back of the statue and you look at the facial expressions of the people on top of the monument, and you look at what their facial expressions are, at the back of the monument, they kind of look like excited and determined, and they've got lots of energy, and they almost look happy. Like, not exactly happy, but they don't look sad. But once they come through the arches, look at their faces. They look really sad. They look really tired. They look like they have just lost their best friend, their brother, their father. They've just lost somebody who has died to war. Over 66,000 Canadians died in these wars, fighting for what we have today. So the back of the statue is like going into war, and the front of the statue, once they're through the arches, is coming out of war. Now, there were so many families all across Canada who lost their fiancés or their husbands, their brothers, their fathers, and the bodies were never recovered. They never came home. They never had a proper burial. They never had a proper funeral. All they got was a telegram that said, "We're sorry to inform you that your loved one has died at battle." That's all that they got. So what they did was they chose one body of a man that they did not know who it was. He was unmarked. He was probably disfigured. He was probably blown up to the point where nobody could identify him. Nobody had any idea who this person was.
Who is that?
But they knew he was Canadian because of his uniform. And they took this one soldier and they brought him back. And they put him in the tomb that is right in front of the War Memorial. And they went to every single province in Canada and they took a handful of dirt. And they put a handful of dirt on top of the coffin because they wanted this person to be buried on their home soil. And they brought him here. So this site where we are at right now is actually somebody's tombstone. But it represents thousands of people who died in the war. A lot of people come here to visit their loved ones because they don't have a cemetery that they can go to because the bodies of their loved ones were never found. So people come here, they bring flowers, and when the site was first put here, people started putting money on top of the coffin. And it was incredible because in Ottawa, just like in Toronto, they're homeless people, but nobody touched the money. Everybody just respected this site so much that the money was left on the tomb. Kids didn't steal it, homeless people didn't steal it, and the money started to pile up and the government didn't know what to do. So eventually the government came and they collected all the money. And people started putting more money on the tomb, quarters, nickels, dimes, and loonies. So the government kept collecting the money. And eventually they decided that they would give it to a charity relating to war. Does anybody know what charity this money now goes to? That's a very good guess. The Salvation Army? No, I'll give you a clue. Think about how many people in the war lost an arm, lost a leg, lost a finger. Where do you think it went? The war amps. So whenever they find money on there, they collect it and then they donate it to the war amps. Alright, it looks like the monument is clear for the moment, why don't we all go sit on the stairs and we'll take a group photo, and then I'll give you a minute to walk around.